guys, and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. On today's talk we have my beautiful sister Agnes.
Hi guys.
And we have a special guest, Bobby.
What's up?
So our topic for today is about Acholi youth and what they're doing in the community. So I hope you enjoy. We're all Acholi, and Acholi is our tribe, and it is one of the tribes in South Sudan, Uganda, and part of Kenya as well. Our first topic for today is motivation and inspiration. So we're just gonna talk about the things that motivate us in the community. So are we really motivated? Do we have anything that we look up to? Do we push ourselves? What do you guys think about it?
I actually think that there's not a lot of motivation between actually youth, to be honest. For example, if they're working somewhere, they're earning money and stuff like that, they become so comfortable to a point where they're not motivated to really do more.
So where do you think the problem comes from, though? Themselves or the people that they look up to?
I think sometimes it actually goes back to the society as well, like the place where they live and where they came from. Like whereas they see that, okay, everything is just about like money. And if I have money, if I'm working, if I have money, then I'm okay. I'm just gonna be like comfortable. I'm just gonna sit down. Like I don't need to do more with my life. I just like, and there's not a lot of like parents are actually not pushing as much, to be honest, in terms of like education and like doing more for yourselves. As long as you're bringing money in, as long as you're working and stuff like that, there's no motivation. You can just do whatever, and that's okay.
So to me, like to having motivation and inspiration, you have to want to do something. So the thing is, like if you don't have that ambition to want to do something or better yourself, you see, there's not gonna be purpose to get inspired or motivated. So for me, like it would be like comfortability. So things people would work in factory, which was like the reason I give factory is because I feel like most of our youth, or like people that are hitting 30 for going to 40, they kind of give up in they become so comfortable with whatever they're making and that good money to them, it looks good, so they work comfortably, they're comfortable in that situation, so they keep doing the same thing as long as they have that,
Just to add on that, like what you say, if you have goals, then you pursue it, obviously. But if you're looking at older people who are not doing the things that you want to do, there's no motivation. Like look at you now, if you have younger brothers and sisters, and let's say that after high school you decided, okay, I don't want to go higher, I'm just gonna work in a factory, like you said. Obviously your younger siblings are gonna be like, okay, he's fine, I'm not, why should I go higher if it's earning money?
Exactly, right?
So like us as well, older youth, we're not really setting example for the younger siblings that we have, because they look at us and they be like, oh, I want to be like that. But if you're not really like that, then they're gonna be like the person you are.
So they have to have a kind of role model, someone to give them an example if you want to pursue something bigger. Parents also want us to be a lawyer or this, but to me, I feel like it comes to the point where like, even though we were to pursue to become a doctor, there's not that big support behind it,
And one thing I heard actually from younger people comparing themselves with their parents, like my mom and dad, they didn't go to school. Maybe they did in Africa, but the education in Africa. At the age of 17, 18, you are actually ready to be in a house now.
Exactly.
If you do get pregnant, you're going to marry that guy and you're going to live in that house. So when you come here, and telling your kids, I didn't go to school because of this, they're like, fine, why are you judging me then? I look at someone that actually did it, that graduated and got their degrees, and I admire that. I'm like, okay, you managed to do it, how can I do that too? Rather than comparing yourself with your parents that maybe because of the war in Sudan and whatever, moving on, they didn't get that opportunity to actually pursue higher.
I think it goes back to what Barbie says as well. It's about what you want to do. Like it's about knowing what you really want to do. Sometimes I feel like our youth need to get out there more often, like, and just go out there and see how other people apart from the Choli community in general do things, so that like for you to be motivated, you have to see something that motivates you. So if you're sitting down comfortably, you don't see anything, you see the same people doing the same thing, you just follow along, like you're not gonna be motivated. For you to be motivated, there has to be something that inspires you. Like it has to be something that you be like, oh yeah, I want to be like this, I want to do that, I want to do this, for you to be motivated. But if you are like hanging out with people that are so comfortable, obviously you are going to do the same thing as well. So we need to like look into like the circle of friends that we hang out with as well, and our community. If our community is not doing as much, that motivates us. We need to get out, like you just can't sit down here. You need to go out there and see how to achieve, how to get better, how to work harder to like get to where you want to be, because that's the only way. Cause leave money, like how can you better yourself as a person? Like what motivates you to do better? Like that's where like it needs to come in.
For example, I took film. I work in film. You know, like, my parents don't have like any understanding. I mean, they just watch movies, like Nigerian movies and all that kind of stuff. To me, like I felt like that decision came out of me because I wanted to pursue film, and that my parents all they can do is just give me an advice: go to school, go finish whatever you want to do. But to understand film or know how film works is different for them. You know, to me, I feel like in order for our parents. I feel like our parents give up easily into pushing us to doing something. I don't know if that's harsh to say or whatever, but I feel like our parents give up easily. You know, when we resist something, they just kind of stopped and like, you know, not even that. Like
I mean, they talk about it, but not to you. I feel like maybe they discuss it with
and
someone.
And to me, like exactly, that's one thing our parents do always. The thing is, first of all, if you say no to your parents, the discussion goes back to where relatives come down. It's like, you know, they jump away, they start spreading the words out there, like, oh, my child's disrespectful, this, you know? Instead of having that conversation with the child and be like, okay, this. I feel like in our family, like in the our children community, I feel like we have to start communicating with our children more. So that way, like, you know, we know okay, how can I benefit you? Okay, you want to take science, okay. At least, even as a parent, I feel like take that step of where actually we understand what's the film. Okay, what can I do this? I'll talk to people, make a phone call. Is this good for my child? Is this good for this, you know? Do that research. I feel like our parents, when we decide to do something, as long as we think like we understand it, they leave it all up to us, you know? So
the advice that I can actually just like give
us like conclusion
to parents, like I just feel like parents needs to be more supportive and like communicate with their children more, because sometimes they just want us to do something, and if you're not doing that, you want to like do something else, they're just like, oh, whatever, do what you want to do, like, you know, they put you there, and then that's something that makes youth drop out of school, because if they want you to be a doctor or something and you don't have the brain for that, you can't really like sit down and be like, I'm gonna push, because they don't know like the stress you go through like in school. They don't know like how much you have to work together, and if your brain is not meant to be a doctor, you can't really achieve it. That's something that they need to get, that we can't just tell our kids to be a doctor, be a lawyer and stuff like that. Whatever I want to take, that's where my ability is.
Alright guys, that's it for motivation and inspiration. So obviously you heard both sides of the story from Agnes and Bobby and myself as well. Just leave your opinion down below, and you know, we get to see what you guys really think about the issue as well. I feel like both parents and kids need to be open-minded to each other's view, because the life the kids have now is completely different from the lifestyle that their parents had back then.
One love.
Bye.
Rastafari, Haile Selassie.